Yeah, the men's soccer program, they've been knocking on the door nationally over the past few years, and this year they're looking to kick that door down.
Keep.
Yes, Dave.
Yeah, we're day one, session one here, so we have a lot to learn about the team.
Great team, all the newcomers and the returners. I feel that it will be an amazing year, and we'll prove it session by session.
The UVM men's soccer team is back in Vermont ahead of a season with sky-high expectations. But before the guys settled in on campus to return to the routine of fall, they made their annual trip up to Jay Peak earlier this month.
You know, this week is really important. We're kind of away from all the noise, away from Burlington, just out here on our own little retreat.
It's so important for a team because you got so many guys coming from so many different parts of the world. We're put into these cabins up here with certain groups, you know, like a mentor-mentee. It's really important as those older guys to kind of lay down the foundation for the new guys.
The Cats lost a number of key contributors this offseason with transfers like Jake Ashford and NCAA tournament hero Carter Johnson using up their eligibility. But head coach Rob Dow went back to the transfer well.
We picked up Lou from Davidson, a goalkeeper whose tenacity is fantastic, and Mike Bleeker and Nathan Simeon, those two guys joined us in January, and they brought a presence and intensity that, is hard to get out of a freshman, to be honest.
Of course, a couple of last year's freshman class impressed, and that was why Nick Lockerman and Sidney Watuda are two of the 6 Cats on the preseason all-conference team.
Yeah, they had really good freshman years last year, and they both went away this summer. I think Locke was with Vermont Green and Sidney was back home in Vancouver. But from what I've heard, they had really good summers, really productive summers, and last spring you could see the differences that they were making.
But as is usually the case, this team is going to go as far as the upperclassmen take them. The other 4 Cats on that all-conference squad, seniors Adrian Schultz-Solano and Yaniv Bazzini, alongside grad students Zach Barrett and Max Murray.
You know, we got a lot of experience, whether it's here, overseas, or no matter wherever they play. Like, we got a lot of experience, just leading by example on the field, off the field.
I'm always want to be the best that I can be, and I'm always pushing myself every practice, every minute, every game. So I want to be the best of the best.
As successful as the Cats were last year, one thing they won't want to replicate is the stretch run. Vermont lost 3 of its last 4 games heading into the NCAA tournament, including a home stunner against NJIT in the America East quarterfinals.
That dip was unacceptable, certainly. But the first people to recognize it was our team. And they held each other accountable for that, and making sure they're more disciplined decisions they make. And they come to practice, they come to training, be realistic in what it takes to win championships.
But for the second straight year, the Cats found their rhythm at the absolute best time, rolling Ryder in round 1 of NCAA's before edging out an absolute thriller on the road at 12th-seeded UCF.
When we do get into the NCAA tournament, we need to push ourselves like that extra gear, because anything can happen. It's one game.
The 1-goal road loss to an eventual College Cup team was a bitter pill for the Cats to swallow, just like the 1-goal quarterfinal loss to the eventual champs the year before.
I think the common denominator was that we gave up goals that were goals we didn't give up throughout the rest of the season. Gathering this experience, gathering the mentality of we should be winning these games, and those types of mistakes we're not going to make again.
The Cats have a lot to accomplish in the short term. They mentioned wanting to win the America East regular season title, which they haven't even shared in 5 years or won outright in more than a decade. But make no mistake, the number 14 team in the country has legitimate aspirations of being the last team standing come December.
We did it once, didn't get to the College Cup. Been almost there in the second year, like you said, still didn't get this. But the third time is a charm, right? So let's do it.
Men's soccer team is certainly going to test itself early and often this year. The Cats getting ready to open their season Thursday evening out in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where they will face 12th-ranked Western Michigan. They'll follow that with a 2-game swing in Southern California next week before the home opener on September 7th. Cats one of 2 America East teams in the top 30 of the preseason United Soccer Coaches Poll as well. All of this to say Vermont should be pretty well tested by the time we get to the postseason.
America East has carved itself a reputation of a top-level soccer conference. UNH and Bryant, and what they did last season was pretty phenomenal. And UMBC and Albany's history. We're playing out in Western Michigan against a team that I think is, quite similar to us and what they've been able to do. And sometimes more in their conference. So we're excited about getting that level of experience, that type of game, first off, and then out to the West Coast to make a statement nationally.